Welcome, everybody. It's the Merrill and Jennifer show. Welcome back. We have got some exciting things to talk about today. Jennifer, you are always on the cutting edge of finding out things that are happening in real estate investing, right? In this case, credit card announcements, right? I learned so many things because I have this vast network that I'll say, Merrill, did you know? And I'm like, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And when you hit me with this, I was like, no way, this is awesome. Please tell us what happened.
So this is interesting. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I got a new car and the dealership said, oh yeah, we're going to hold this loan in-house. And this is just like a mortgage. You think about it, they either hold it in-house or they sell it. And so then I just got a notice that they sold the loan to a local credit union. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then I went on to go set up my automatic payment. So, again, and as you have taught before, we look at these credit cards because there's some credit cards that I throw in a drawer and then I just forget to use. And so we've talked about putting your Netflix subscription or putting something that, again, gets
traffic
in there. And then you have this traffic. And so I was like, oh, car payment, it's perfect. Let me go ahead and put it on my, my Visa card because I have one that, again, gets me a bunch of airline miles and hotel miles. And so I was like, that would be a really good one. And so I went to put it on there and no.
Thank you for playing. That does not qualify.
Important notice. VIA has updated their rules and prohibited this. And I was like, I got this whole warning. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So this two very important points because they're saying Visa has prohibited. Now, there's a section in the boot camp that we've done. And if you haven't been to the boot camp, getfundablejennifer.com. No joke. Getfundablejennifer.com. This is crazy talk. We have a whole section on people who say, hey, get a Visa card, get a MasterCard. There is no such thing as a Visa card. There is no such thing as a MasterCard except in the brand MasterCard. But it's not a MasterCard. There's no such thing as a MasterCard. Visa and MasterCard are credit card processors that take, when you swipe it or enter the information online, Visa and MasterCard take that money out of the merchant's account and pass it down line and go to the issuing bank. I use the word issuing because the card is issued from a bank or financial institution, not from Visa, not from MasterCard. And so the thing that happens is like my credit union isn't taking Visa cards anymore, won't let me pay a payment through a Visa card. No, your credit union isn't doing that. Visa's policy of the funds they will extract from that payment, they're not letting the credit union use their service, their processing service, their payment processing service to take the money out and make that payment from using that credit card.
And let me also say, so I was going through all the different ways that you could possibly pay. So, a checking account, you can use a Visa debit card, but you can't use a Visa credit card. And then the other thing or you could use their in-house credit payments, the credit union's payment servicing thing. And that's $15 charge.
A processing fee. Now, the other thing, when you sent me that notice, here's what's interesting, right? Visa, MasterCard, MasterCard has not made that rule. And so one of the things you could do is you can use a Visa debit card, not a credit card. You can use a checking account, not a Visa, not a card that's a Visa processing credit card, but you still could use a credit card that uses MasterCard as the payment model. Right. So, and what you look for on your credit card or debit card, in the bottom right-hand corner, that logo is reserved. That is not the type of credit card it is. It's a Chase or a Wells or a credit union credit card. That bottom right-hand insignia, that logo, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover, that logo that area is reserved for who is taking the money and paying the bank their 3 to 5%. Visa or MasterCard or American Express or Discover, are the ones who are processing the payment, not who's giving you the money as part of the debt to add that payment to your credit card limit, against your credit card limit, right? So that was an amazing catch, Jennifer, amazing catch. And so now I've got my entire team on the lookout for to talking to their clients. Hey, have you noticed that Visa's not letting you pay with a credit card? Visa's is not willing to process, because the language is you and I are all about definitions, Jennifer.
Yeah, right.
The language is very, very precise.
And so I'll read it to you. Important notice. Visa has updated their rules to prohibit payments made to loans and credit cards using a Visa credit card.
See, that's even a misnomer. They're saying a Visa credit card. It is not a Visa credit card. It is a bank card that processes with Visa. We need to be careful here. So do you see how we're still in the matrix? They're still trying to get, because that's marketing to them. Visa, that's a Visa credit card. No, it's not. It is a credit union credit card that uses, because that credit union, Jennifer, could choose to process with MasterCard. Doesn't change that it's a credit union card. It's who's processing the payment. They could choose American Express to process the payment. That doesn't change that it's a credit union card. See the difference? If I were in my boot camp, I'm like, tell me you guys are getting this. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody's raising their hands. Yes. We have to understand the language. If we don't, man, we're just gonna slip into that. And then somebody who believes that Visa has a credit card, when one of these shysters out there goes, get a Visa credit card, now you got a tier 4 junk card that's ruining your credit because you believe that there's such a thing as a Visa credit card.
And that's right. That's why definitions, as you said, and you know how much
you're all about it
on the definitions. If we don't look at I want to say the drama is in the small stuff. The drama is really in defining things very clearly and how they're used. Because as we know, you think about the word sea. Am I seeing something, or are you talking about the ocean? Is the ocean back there?
Or the letter, right?
Or the letter. All the different ways that we can confuse a word and not understand the definitions. And then we get into finances. And there's all sorts of, I hate to say, but there's emotion around finances. Did I do a good job?
Oh, yeah.
All of that emotional side of it, that again, when you don't understand it and you're feeling emotional, and also the other thing is there's a huge thing about, well, I should have known. Well, so what?
Yeah. Well, it goes back to that. It goes back to that Chinese story, right? The youngster comes up to the wise man and says, "So, tell me, when's the best time to plant an oak tree?" Right? And he's like, "Well, 20 years ago." "Well, when's the next best time?" "Today." Right? So it's never too late, you guys. It's never too late. Just remember, but here's what's cool, and we're going to leverage this out there. Anybody who is telling you to get a Visa card or a MasterCard, it's very likely they're also going to say, raise your credit score or build your credit. Both of those are part of the myths that we've been talking about. The myth is that your score is used after you're approved. When they say raise your credit score, no. The lenders are going to build your profile when you get the right kind of credit products. It happens automatically. You don't have to do anything but choose high value credit cards, the tier 1, tier 2 banks, etc. All that's in the boot camp.
You got to go to boot camp to understand that. I mean, that's one of the things that a lot of the people that not only my buyers, my sellers, when they're looking at, oh my gosh, interest rates keep going up. What about my credit? How's my credit going to be impacted by these interest rates? And it's hilarious because I'm like, whoa, let's talk about one thing. And I realize that they don't understand the relationships.
Yeah.
So we got to be clear about this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact,
impacts.
Yeah. In fact, Derek in our audience asked a great question. He goes, "So does that mean that I should update all my credit cards to the MasterCard logo?" Well, here's the problem. That isn't up to us. Great question, Derek.
Yeah.
That's not up to us, because this credit union, if its credit card uses Visa, that means you have to get a whole new different credit card that uses MasterCard. So if you're paying your bills, Derek, with a Visa card, that may either already be gone or fast being quickly translated into all of the different institutions who process with Visa. So what you would do is find in your assortment of credit cards ones that are processed by MasterCard, ones that are processed by Discover or American Express, and use those to pay your loan payments or your credit card payments. Visa is either already across the board. Usually they have a implementation period, right? And that credit union already did it. It may already be so across the board, but we have to make sure that again, Derek, the language we use is extremely precise. No, you're not going to go just ask them to choose that credit card and put a MasterCard logo on it. Not going to happen. The credit cards, the financial institutions that are issuing the card, that are financially backstopping the card, that are giving you the credit line of their money for you to use, choose a processor for that card. I know Wells Fargo has some that are MasterCard, has some that are Visa, and has some that are American Express processors. So that's the only power we have, is to find in our cadre. I have some of each. So not for any reason, but now I know that why it was a smart decision back then, right?
Right.
But yeah.
And also, one thing to mention though, Merrill, also is that like what his question was is, also you don't want to just go canceling all your Visa cards.
No.
So go to the boot camp, because that was a huge no. Go to the boot camp and understand.
Derek has been, and a couple of times, I know for sure. But you're absolutely right, Jennifer. Do not close the bank card because of the processor. No. See why this is so important to understand, you guys, is you want to keep the relationship with the bank. Ultimately, you don't care who they're using to process. You're just going to pick you're going to use your checking account, or you're going to use your MasterCard insignia processors now to pay for loan payments or make credit card payments. Woohoo! Yay! All right. This is awesome. Thank you for joining in, Derek. It adds a lot of verve and vim here at the Jennifer and Merrill show. So glad to have you guys here. And by the way, next week, big announcement. Next week, we are going to be live at FICO. Woo! FICO World, and we're doing a huge. This very show is going to be there at FICO, and so we're going to find the coolest background, the coolest everything, and we're going to be talking about FICO scores. We're going to be talking about FICO 10, the brand new score that is out, and what it does for us and everything. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Jennifer,
yay!
Final words.
Final words. I think that number one, you got to keep up on all the changes that are happening out there, because the things that are happening, and I have some other topics that I can't wait to talk to you about next week, because there's some interesting things that I'm seeing because I'm constantly talking to my credit card companies and just observing, and I have so many clients and students that are asking these questions, and even their interns, or when they go from zero. So remember that just always keep tuned in to Merrill. Get to the boot camp. Make sure you're in the Facebook group. There's so much going on.
Hackers. We meet twice a week, you guys. Twice a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we spend an hour Q&A on fundability. And it's one of the packages when you go to getfundablejennifer.com. Get the gold package, and you get to stay part of the tribe. It's amazing. Coming out, and imagine having this for an hour twice a week, where like Derek did, you throw in questions and, hey, what about this? How do I implement this? It literally is some of my favorite probably my favorite time of the week.
Yay! It's my favorite time of the week.
There we go. All right, you guys. Jennifer, have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. And I can't wait to see you next
to see you first time in person.
Yeah,
Woo!
we're gonna do a quick Facebook Live while we're getting ready for dinner. We'll be like, hey, what's up? Oh, and we're gonna for dinner. We're gonna be joined with by Erica. Tell us about Erica because she's coming down too. This is gonna be off the hook.
This is so exciting. Erica Rogers started off as an intern with me, was at Sirius XM years ago, probably 8 years ago.
When she was there when we met.
Yeah, so she's been there 8 years, and she stayed with me, and then since then I've done a lot of mentoring with her. But she went from zero credit, no credit at all, to having a huge amount of credit, and hopefully we'll get her on the show soon too, so you can see from going from literally no credit to and being a 20-something-year-old, and she was working for a nonprofit.
I can't
so
yes.
Like,
I'm trying to point at us at the same time. I'm trying to point at us because she went from zero to $100,000 because of the things that she got to tune in, and I love talking behind her back. So Erica, she's a genius, and now she's killing it out there. And you're welcome, Erica.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll finish today. You guys see us next week. Come next week. Same fundable time, same fundable channel. We're going to be East Coast, so it will be noon on. Yep. It'll be noon on Wednesday on the East Coast.
Yep, exactly.
All right, guys. How about? I can't wait to see you, Jennifer. It's going to be a blast.
Wait.
All right.